The healthcare system, a cornerstone of modern society, often appears as a complex and opaque entity. It encompasses a vast network of hospitals, clinics, pharmaceutical companies, and various other service providers. For many, particularly patients, the financial operations underpinning this system remain largely bewildering. Understanding how healthcare generates revenue is not merely an academic exercise. It is crucial for navigating the system effectively as a patient or professional. This knowledge also empowers individuals to advocate for better healthcare practices and policies. This analysis aims to demystify the financial mechanisms within healthcare. We will break down the key elements that drive the business of medicine. Our objective is to provide a clear, objective overview of how money flows through this vital sector. Hospitals and clinics, as primary care providers, rely on several distinct revenue streams. The most significant of these is typically insurance reimbursements. These institutions negotiate specific rates with a multitude of insurance providers. Payments are then based on the services rendered to insured patients. This intricate process involves detailed billing and coding. The system's complexity often makes it opaque to the average patient. This opacity frequently leads to complex and confusing medical bills. Patients often struggle to understand the charges and their corresponding insurance coverage. The intricacies of medical coding, pre-authorization requirements, and varying coverage plans further complicate this landscape. Each medical procedure, consultation, or diagnostic test is assigned a specific code. These codes dictate how services are billed to insurers. Errors or misinterpretations in coding can significantly impact reimbursement rates and patient costs. Pre-authorization is another critical step, requiring approval from insurers before certain services are provided. Failure to obtain pre-authorization can result in denied claims, leaving patients responsible for the full cost. The diversity of insurance plans, each with unique deductibles, co-pays, and out-of-pocket maximums, adds another layer of financial variability. Beyond private insurance, government funding represents another significant revenue stream for many healthcare providers. Programs like Medicare and Medicaid provide essential coverage for specific populations. Medicare primarily serves individuals aged 65 and older, as well as certain younger people with disabilities. Medicaid offers healthcare coverage to low-income individuals and families. Hospitals, particularly those serving vulnerable populations, often depend heavily on these government programs. These programs establish their own reimbursement rates, which can differ significantly from private insurance rates. Government funding also includes grants and subsidies for specific initiatives. These may support research, public health programs, or infrastructure development. Such funding is vital for maintaining access to care in underserved areas. Finally, a smaller but still relevant revenue stream comes from private pay. This involves patients paying out of pocket for their care. This typically occurs when individuals lack insurance, choose not to use their insurance, or seek services not covered by their plan. Private pay can also apply to elective procedures or services deemed non-essential by insurers. While less common for acute care, it is prevalent in areas like cosmetic surgery or certain alternative therapies. The ability to pay privately often dictates access to these specific services. The pharmaceutical industry plays a profoundly significant role in shaping healthcare pricing. Its influence extends across the entire healthcare ecosystem. This sector is often referred to as Big Pharma due to its substantial economic and political power. Pharmaceutical companies frequently justify their high drug prices through several arguments. A primary justification is the immense cost associated with drug development. Research and development for new medications can span many years and require billions of dollars in investment. The process involves extensive preclinical testing, multiple phases of clinical trials, and rigorous regulatory approval. Many potential drug candidates fail at various stages, meaning significant investments yield no marketable product. Companies argue that successful drugs must recoup these substantial R&D expenditures. Another factor cited is the cost of marketing and distribution. Pharmaceutical companies invest heavily in promoting their products to physicians and consumers. This includes direct-to-consumer advertising, medical journal advertisements, and sales representatives. These marketing efforts are designed to increase market share and drive prescription rates. The costs associated with these activities are ultimately factored into drug pricing. Companies also aim to generate substantial profits for their shareholders. This profit motive is inherent to their business model as publicly traded entities. The need to recoup costs and generate profits directly contributes to the elevated prices of many medications. This financial imperative often clashes with public health objectives. The impact of these pricing strategies on patients and the overall healthcare system is profound. High prices for life-saving medications can create significant financial burdens for individuals. This directly impacts patient access to essential treatments. Many patients face difficult choices between affording their medications and other basic necessities. This situation can lead to non-adherence to prescribed treatments with severe health consequences. The high cost of pharmaceuticals also contributes significantly to overall healthcare expenditures. This burden is borne by individuals, insurance companies, and government programs alike. It strains healthcare budgets and limits resources for other vital services. The industry's influence extends beyond pricing to policy. Extensive lobbying efforts by pharmaceutical companies are well documented. These efforts aim to shape legislation and regulations in their favour. This includes advocating for patent protections and favourable pricing policies. This industry influence on policy further complicates the pricing landscape. It can hinder efforts to introduce price controls or increase generic drug competition. The interplay of development costs, marketing, profit motives, and lobbying creates a complex and often controversial pricing environment. The healthcare landscape has undergone significant changes driven by industry consolidation. Mergers and acquisitions have become increasingly common across all sectors of healthcare. This includes hospitals, physician practices, and even insurance companies. Consolidation can lead to increased market concentration. Fewer, larger entities control a greater share of healthcare services. This trend has the potential for reduced competition within specific markets. When competition diminishes, providers may have less incentive to lower prices or improve services. This can potentially drive up healthcare costs for consumers and payers. The rationale for mergers often includes achieving economies of scale and improving efficiency. However, the actual impact on costs and quality remains a subject of ongoing debate. Another significant trend is the increasing involvement of private equity firms in healthcare. Private equity investments focus on acquiring healthcare businesses with the aim of maximizing profits. These firms typically seek to improve operational efficiency and increase revenue before selling the acquired entity. This often involves implementing aggressive cost-cutting measures. Such measures might include reducing staffing levels or streamlining administrative processes. The debated impact of private equity on the healthcare system and patient care is a critical discussion point. Proponents argue that private equity brings much-needed capital and business acumen to healthcare. They contend that these investments can lead to improved efficiency, better management, and enhanced quality of care. The infusion of capital can facilitate technology upgrades and facility improvements. They also suggest that a focus on profitability can drive innovation and better resource allocation. This perspective emphasizes the benefits of market-driven efficiency. Conversely, critics express significant concerns about the potential negative consequences. They worry that the primary focus on maximizing profits may compromise patient care. Cost-cutting measures, while financially beneficial, could lead to reduced staffing levels. This reduction might include nurses, support staff, or even physicians. Such changes could increase workloads for remaining staff, potentially affecting patient safety and satisfaction. There are also concerns about the potential compromise of resource allocation. Private equity firms might prioritize profitable services over less lucrative but essential ones. This could lead to reduced access to certain types of care, particularly for vulnerable populations. The quality of care itself could be impacted if cost-cutting leads to less investment in equipment or training. The long-term effects of private equity involvement on healthcare quality and accessibility are still being studied. This trend highlights the tension between financial objectives and public health imperatives. It underscores the need for careful oversight and regulation. The business of medicine is a multifaceted system, driven by a complex interplay of financial mechanisms. Its primary revenue streams include insurance reimbursements, government funding, and private pay. The pharmaceutical industry's pricing strategies also exert a profound influence on overall costs. Furthermore, industry consolidation and private equity investments are reshaping the financial landscape. These trends introduce new dynamics regarding market concentration and profit motives. Understanding these intricate financial workings is essential for all stakeholders. This includes patients who must navigate billing and access to care. It also applies to policymakers who are tasked with regulating the system and ensuring equitable access. Healthcare professionals, too, benefit from comprehending the financial context in which they operate. Armed with this knowledge, we can collectively advocate for a more transparent healthcare system. Transparency in pricing and billing is crucial for empowering consumers. We can also push for a more accessible system, ensuring care is available to all who need it. Ultimately, the goal is to foster a healthcare system that is truly patient-centered. This means prioritizing patient well-being and affordability over purely financial gains. It requires ongoing dialogue and informed action from all sectors of society.